Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my kitchen. My name's Morgan if you're new around here, and I just got a few hours ago the devastating news that I failed my glucose test. So I'm gonna do everything in my power to try to monitor my carb intake. It's going to be probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life because carbs are my #1 favorite food group. So one thing I need to do is to make sure I have some healthy options for snacks. Today I'm gonna be throwing together a recipe for energy bites. You can also flatten these if you don't want to shape them into balls and cut them into granola bars. They're very similar to our granola bar recipe, and while I'm not going to be using all of the ingredients in the recipe I'm using, I don't have coconut on hand, I don't have chia seeds or flax, so I'm just going to use what I've got. It should still be pretty healthy and give me a nice protein boost, so I'll go ahead and go over the ingredients that we will need. For this recipe, we're going to need a mixing bowl. I'm using about a medium-sized mixing bowl. I've got a bigger one that I'm saving for later. The 1 cup measuring cup, half a cup measuring cup, and 1/3 measuring cup, and 1 teaspoon measuring spoon. We're also going to need 1 cup of old-fashioned oats. If you're using coconut, shredded coconut, it calls for 2/3 of a cup of shredded coconut, and it's recommended to toast that. We also need half a cup of creamy peanut butter. I'm using nutty, which is like crunchy, so we'll see how that works. I may have to add a little bit more to get everything to stick together, but we will see. If you're using flaxseed, use 1/2 cup ground flaxseed. I don't have that, so I'm gonna skip that. We need half a cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. I'm using bittersweet because that's what I've got on hand. My husband grew up eating 0 sugar baker's chocolate, so he likes really dark chocolate. We also need 1/3 of a cup of honey, which I've got over here. If you're using chia seeds, 1 tablespoon of chia seeds, and then 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm also going to be adding just a tiny bit of salt into this recipe, but that's optional. I would recommend it just because salt enhances flavor, but if you're looking to limit your sodium intake, then you can totally leave that out. I really don't think that this recipe could get very much simpler. It's a no-bake recipe, so you don't have to heat your kitchen up at all, which is great because of what I'm going to be making for dinner later, which is going to be in a separate video. So if you want to see me make biscuits and gravy, yes, I know it's carb loaded, but this is my last day of heavy carbs. I already had the ingredients, so I want to make sure that I don't waste those. You don't have to heat your kitchen up for this recipe. It's just mix it together, chill it, shape it however you want, and then chill it again. And it lasts in the fridge for, I think it said, a week in the fridge or in the freezer for up to 3 months, which is a pretty long time. These probably won't last that long just because we're going to go through them so quick. So we need a cup of oats. And I'm not going to be baking with these, so I'm just measuring rough measurements. I'm going to go ahead and measure out my chocolate chips so that I don't get my measuring cup too dirty. 1/3 of a cup of honey. I may think about getting some more honey on my grocery order too. I'm going to let that sit and drain out for a little bit. I'm going to measure out half a cup of peanut butter. Here come my dogs, they love peanut butter. This is going to be very close to half a cup what I have left in my peanut butter jar. I've got an extra jar that I figured I probably would need, and looks like I am going to need just a little bit from that one. And my new peanut butter jar has not been opened yet, and it's natural, so I'm going to need to mix it up. So I'm going to turn the camera off for just a minute while I do that. Okay, it's pretty nice and mixed up now. So let's go ahead and fill this the rest of the way up. Doesn't need much more. I think this should be good. Here comes my cat. All right. 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I don't know why I got my measuring spoon out for this. I always use the cap, and I just will do 2 capfuls for 1 teaspoon. Let's see, how much vanilla do I have left? It's hard to tell in this bottle. I'll just hope for the best. Alright, last thing we need is just a pinch of salt. It's a little bit much, I'll just do it like that. Alright, let's get this all mixed together. Now, particularly with the chocolate chips, I really want to make sure I get even distribution of those. That's really my main thing that I'm worried about, because I don't want any protein bites that are totally empty of chocolate and then others are completely chocolate. So, but I'm not too worried about the peanut butter and the oats because I'm sure I'll mix it well enough to get those combined. Same thing with the honey. This smells really good. This is actually pretty similar to some no-bake peanut butter cookies. They're oatmeal, peanut butter, and chocolate that I've made before, although those you still cook on the stove. This is completely heat-free, which I love on this hot summer day. It's actually pretty cool today. I think it only got up into the 90s. We've had above 100 temperatures for the last at least month. It's June, it's late June, and it's been 100 or more since late May. So, all right, so before I actually roll these into balls, the instructions say to let this chill in the fridge for an hour or two to let it kind of set up a little bit. That's going to make rolling these a lot easier because right now you can see they're pretty sticky. So I'm going to let these chill in the fridge and I'm going to get dinner started. I'm going to film that too. That'll be up a little bit later. And once the peanut butter and everything in here has set, I will be back with you to roll these into balls and we will finish these up. The rest of this video is really self-explanatory. This is just the shaping of whatever form you want your energy bites to be. I decided to make energy bites anyway. You could also flatten this out on a baking sheet and make granola bars. You'd want to let them chill in the fridge for a couple more hours before cutting them into bars, but I've really been liking these energy bites and I actually have recently ran out and remade some using the coconut, which was really good, and I only have 2 left of that, so I'm about to run out again. They've been really good. I've been eating them for snacks, for breakfast, for dessert, so I would highly recommend this recipe. It's super simple, relatively healthy. If you're on a low-carb diet, which is what I'm doing, then I would definitely recommend these, and even if you're not, they're just a really great source of energy and a really nice sweet treat that you can eat. If you do end up trying these, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know if you've got any suggestions for future videos. I'd be happy to put those into my list of plans, and I would really also appreciate a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. Feel free to share this video with anyone you know on a low-carb diet that's looking for something to satisfy their sweet tooth. And if you're new around here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you know as soon as I have a new video that comes out. I hope to see you guys around next time. Bye guys!